We are Cory and Wallace, an early retired couple on a full-time journey around the world. With a passion for exploring new cultures, discovering hidden gems, and enjoying delicious local food, we are on a mission to experience as much of the world as we can.
Hello from Huatulco, Mexico.
This is our last day here in Huatulco. We've been here now for 30 full days, and it's been a nice, relaxing stay here, honestly.
Yeah, we were kind of just talking about this. It wasn't necessarily Huatulco itself. We didn't do a lot outside of the week that we had the car. But this Airbnb felt like home. Like it was big enough, it was spacious enough, it had everything you needed in the kitchen. And we utilized a lot of our time in the kitchen to make really good meals, which we haven't had a lot of availability to us, so it's really nice.
Yeah, on top of that, it was walking distance to the Tradrawi, the main supermarket here. It was walking distance to the local fruit and vegetable vendors, Fruver and other stores like that, just a short walk away in the main part of town. We spent a lot of days just lounging in the pool here, honestly, and it was really, really lovely.
I think we're kind of missing like the spaciousness of a home, because all our Airbnbs are like one bedroom, tiny little
and even
studio,
if they're one bedrooms, they're small one bedrooms,
or lack of a kitchen, you can barely even call it.
Yeah, we've been on the road full time now for it's 19 months. We've got one more month ahead of us, one more month and change before we head back home to Canada for a little bit.
So today we are traveling back to Oaxaca for 5 days, and then we're going on to Puerto Vallarta. We're taking the bus from Huatulco to Oaxaca. I think we looked into flights. It was either very difficult to do from Oaxaca.
It was more
or
expensive. When we looked at it, it was a lot more expensive to fly direct from Huatulco. So we liked Oaxaca City well enough, so I didn't mind going back there for 5 more days. We're going back to the same Airbnb that we stayed in previously, so we're probably not going to do too much of a review on that once we get there. So we'll link that video down below if you want to see what that looks like. But yeah, we're just waiting for Bree, our property manager here, to come get us checked out, and she's ordered us a cab as well to show up at noon. And we've got a 1 o'clock bus, again with ADO bus, or ADO, as the locals call it. And it's going to be a fairly long day. It's 5 hours by bus to get back to Oaxaca City.
Well, they say 5 hours. Every time we've taken the bus, we add an extra hour so far. So I'm hoping it's only an extra hour. It might be more depending on what the mountains look like. We'll see.
And I'm not sure which route we take back. It might be backtracking the way we've come. It might be the older, more windy mountain route.
I've heard that one takes longer, so maybe
I have no idea. No way to know. So I guess come along and find out.
A few moments later.
We are at the bus stop. It's very small, but it's all open air, so it's got like a nice little cross breeze. But it looks like if they're going to do announcements, we're going to hear them. It looks like there's only one gate, so I think there's only going to be one bus coming and going at any given time. So it should be pretty straightforward and very easy. All right, we are on the bus.
And luckily, this one is the same style of bus as the last one when we came to Huatulco, but the overhead storage bins are slightly taller. Our backpacks actually fit there, so now we've actually got legroom, which is awesome.
This is going to be the most comfortable bus ride that we've had so far.
Which is good because it's 5 hours long.
We're pretty sure that we go to Puerto Escondido and then back up to Oaxaca. We're not sure. We'll find out. But I'm excited that we finally have legroom.
The seats also have armrests on both sides, including in the middle. There's a cup holder on either side of us, and there's actually 4 USB-A charging points in the middle between the seats. We're about an hour little over an hour into the journey today, and our first stop, just a little bus stop here in San Pedro Cochutla.
It's the same bus stop that we stopped at on the way to Huatulco. It's really comfy. The driver's really, really good. So
roads are a little windy, and the bus is a little bouncy. So if you get car sick, yeah, it's not the greatest.
But on average, I think he's going about 20 kilometers per hour.
Pretty slow.
Yeah, so we're not moving very fast. So getting car sick is not really a thing because you just don't move that fast. But it's a good drive so far.
Um, 6:26, so we're about half hour late getting into Oaxaca City, which honestly isn't too bad. It's a slow drive for a lot of that, but we're here and we're gonna grab a taxi and get over to our Airbnb.
Several days later.
It's a couple days later, and we're back here in Oaxaca. And today we've got a couple stops we wanted to check out. The first on our list is the Ethnobotanical Gardens of Oaxaca, which is currently right behind me. We're in the center of town, right in the just behind the Santo Domingo Cathedral. So we're gonna go and check it out. Online, it's a little bit iffy whether or not we're gonna be able to see it today. They've got weird hours, and apparently you can only go in on a guided tour. So we're gonna go find out. So the Ethnobotanical Gardens weren't quite what we expected. It turns out they offer free 20-minute long guided tours. In fact, you can only go in on one of these guided tours, but the times for those are at 10:30, 11, 11:30, 12, and at 5 p.m. So outside of those times, you're out of luck. And as far as I can tell, they only offer those tours in Spanish. I was under the
Which makes sense because it is a free tour. So
I read online that there were English tours at either certain times or on certain days of the week, but that doesn't seem to be the case. If that is true, and maybe we're just here on the wrong day, we have no way to know, unfortunately, because none of the guides or employees there spoke any English.
Yeah, it's fine. The tour itself, it doesn't really help us because we don't speak Spanish. But just to look around, it's really pretty in there.
Yes, the plants are really cool, lots of different cacti, and they've got a really cool little reflecting pool where you can get a really neat shot of the cacti across the pool. So as far as a free little stop goes, not bad at all.
Next up is the museum.
So we are currently standing outside of the Santo Domingo de Guzman Cathedral here in the middle of Oaxaca. And right next to it, built in what used to be the convent of that cathedral, is the Museum of Cultures of Oaxaca. And we're going to go have a look, and it should be a lot of information on especially the local Zapotec culture, but also the other cultures that make up this region of Oaxaca. pretty sure it's a standard museum rate. It should be 210 Mexican pesos per person to go in. And since we've got some time to kill, we're gonna go wander in and take a look around. Okay, so we're in the museum. They make you go through a security screening, and for some reason there's no tripods or selfie sticks allowed. And I understand, you know, like big commercial tripods, you know, meter-long selfie sticks. Ours was literally like a tripod selfie stick that's this long because it's the handle for our GoPro. They wouldn't let us bring that with us. We had to take that off and actually check that at the bag check, basically. A little bit weird. Not sure what the issue with that is, but they were very, very insistent.
So the museum so far is laid out. There's hallways with doors, and each door has an exhibit. But it did give us a better view of the botanical gardens from up here. So that was kind of cool.
I think that's going to do it for the Museum of Cultures of Oaxaca. What do you think?
I thought it was absolutely amazing. It's huge, way bigger than we thought. It's got some Monte Alban artifacts. It's got historical artifacts. It's just got a bunch of just stuff that you would find in a regular museum, but the layout is really cool because they use the old convent, so you're just walking around an old church the whole time.
Yeah, the building is absolutely stunning. I love the architecture. You've also got from the upper floor, I guess, balconies. You've got a really cool view down on the Ethnobotanical Gardens, which our 20-minute tour earlier only covered a portion of the gardens. So from up here, you actually have a pretty good view of that. You've also got some cool views of the facade of the Santo Domingo church. Overall, absolutely worth the 210 peso admission fee to come in here.
Now, from what I understand, there's a bunch of museums in Oaxaca. We're just going to do this one. This one's just a taste of what there is, but we were talking to another couple and they mentioned like 2 or 3 others that they've really enjoyed. So take your pick. If you love museums, this is definitely a good place to be. Same with Mexico City.
Yeah.
But
I mean, we were here 2 weeks on the initial trip through. We're only here for a few days on this leg of our trip, and we're honestly not going to get up to too much else, but we did miss this one previously, so we wanted to see it. But yeah, overall, I absolutely loved Oaxaca. I think it's definitely a really great place to visit. Weather is fantastic. It's hot and sunny, but it's a dry heat, so it's nowhere near as hot and humid as Puerto Escondido or Huatulco were. So
Sure.
We're very happy about that. But anyways, I think we are going to end this one here. We're going to go grab some lunch and some coffee and call it a day. So thanks very much for joining us here on another outing here in Oaxaca City. We hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the thumbs up to give us a like and make sure you subscribe.
and join us in our other videos for more adventures. Until then, stay curious and keep exploring.